After a heavy concussion saw his 2020 campaign end 4 weeks early, Liam Kendall is already preparing for next year's footy season.
It's not really like anything that I've experienced in the past, but I'd definitely say it's not a positive feeling.
His concussion was the result of a deliberate head-high hit while playing amateur football. The perpetrator went unpunished after successfully appealing a 4-week ban.
I don't think for any sort of incidents in local football that players should be able to escape what's clearly an illegal act within the game based on a technicality.
After a staggering 7 concussions in 8 seasons of football, Sabrina Manjerovic knows the effects of concussion better than anyone.
Neurology appointments every 2 to 3 months. Now it was every 2 to 3 weeks. Chiropractor, making all my head plates and skull plates actually move because they all get all jammed up, and that's what caused the headaches.
She's been diagnosed with post-concussion syndrome, severely impacting her personal and professional life. She's one of those questioning if head injuries are being taken as seriously at local level as they are in the big leagues.
I coached this year and someone got a head knock, and my other coach was like, oh no, she said she's fine. And I could just see it in her eyes. I'm like, nah, she's still dazed, she's still glazed, like, don't let her on.
The AFL's community concussion guidelines state all players with a suspected concussion need an urgent medical assessment with a registered medical doctor, and that any player with a suspected concussion should be removed from the game and not allowed to return. Those guidelines apply to all community football leagues, but Dr Alan Pearce doubts they're being followed as well as they could be.
There really hasn't been that sort of follow-through down to club levels, where I think there could be much improvements in management of concussion, acceptance that it is a serious injury.
We dance between sports trainers which have a little bit of knowledge and make too broad a call to people who are a little bit of the old world. Yeah, you'll be right. You'll come good.
Physiotherapist Matt Jensen has been treating 14-year-old Holly Radburn, whose 4 concussions are having lingering effects.
And it shows that you're still not sorted out from that original injury that you had.
She sustained 2 of those while playing football. On both occasions, she was stunned by how she was treated by officials.
That kind of made me get up. And my mum, not even any nurse, walked me off the field, like my mum, who didn't know anything about concussions or anything. They got her to walk me off the field, and they didn't even check at all for my neck or anything.
If it was my on-field management, I would have left her exactly where she was and called an ambulance.
Concussions and head injuries are almost impossible to stamp out at the local and junior level, but experts believe there's clear improvements that can be made to post-concussion care and management, a responsibility that's often left to under-resourced local clubs with varying results. The Brain Injury Association believes clubs are trying, but more education is still needed.
And that should be mandatory, as a video for the kids watch and the trainers watch and the parents watch, because sometimes it's, the parents saying, no, let them on, let them on.
North Hobart is one club making an effort. Trainer Ashleigh Pearton says there's baseline testing of players at the start of the year and ongoing monitoring of concussion-affected players.
We just, be super cautious because you don't know what's going to happen later down the track, the long-term effects of a concussion, so everyone's on board with the management.
Doctors say Sabrina Manjerovic is at risk of early onset Alzheimer's by the age of 35. Now she just wants those in authority to play their role in concussion prevention and management for a new generation of players.
I think it's, the adults that really have to step in the clubs and say, look, this is better for the long run. We don't want you ending up like this, because I wouldn't wish this upon my worst enemy.
Something to think about for the powers that be. Rowbottom, ABC News.